Hi everyone, how are you? It's Steve. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to talk to you today about something that I don't think a lot of people know about. This is called a Kurgan Stelae. The Kurgan Stelae is called such because it's in around Kurgans and Kurgan cemeteries, which are found in like southern Russia, Eastern Europe, Western Asia. These are Kurgan Stelae, or baubles, are anthropomorphic stone stelae, images cut from stone installed atop, which means straight up and down, within or around Kurgans. So if you are in that area of the world, you're very familiar with these things. These are everywhere. There's literally hundreds, if not thousands, if you also count what are called stone menhirs. These are what they are. These are the Kurgan Stelae. They're always very similar to each other. Arms crossed, figure facing forward, face facing forward. They're generally holding some sort of weapon or something. The earliest anthropomorphic stelae date to the 4th and 5th millennium BC and are associated with the Bronze Age. So that would be like the middle to late Bronze Age, more late Bronze Age. Now it says they are also known as stone menhirs, but they're more complex. Now, oops, looks like there we go. They are more complex. Let's take a look at what stone menhirs are. Stone menhirs, they're a lith, or it just means like a stone, like a megalith or a monolith. Now, as you can see, they're very similar in style, just cruder in technique and sculpting technology or stone masonry. The sculptor just wasn't as accomplished as it later became. So this is already acknowledged by the scientific community that the stone menhirs from the Middle Bronze Age became the Kurgan Stelae of the Late Bronze Age. So that's all well and good until we get to this. Okay, so here's another stone menhir. Again, you can see very crude, but still the same format. Figure facing forward, arms crossed. I'll go back and forth so you can see. Again, modern academia has already accepted that this is the logical progression, that this is indeed both the same thing that is continuing to be made. Then we get to, here's the conundrum and the crux of this video. We get to Mesoamerica in also the late Bronze Age, right after this guy, and we find the Olmecs. What is a Kurgan Stelae doing in South America? As you can see, it is the exact same format. It even looks closer to the stone menhirs, really, but far more sophisticated. It's every bit the leap from this to this as from this to this. Artistically speaking, cartoonish figures, not realistically depicted at all. Here we're getting much more sophisticated in our art. We have symmetrical composition happening. We have almost lifelike features starting being etched. There's still a little bit of a cartoon aspect to it, so that, it's not Michelangelo's David that we're looking at here. This still has a bit of a cartoony aspect to it, but it's a progression from this. And as we continue down, here's another one that I found, and here is the next conundrum, because we have now gone from this is the Eastern Europe to Mesoamerica or South America. What is a Kurgan style? Can't even call it a petroglyph. This would have to be some rock carving. You would call it almost a rock sculpture. What is a rock sculpture that completely matches the format of a Kurgan stela doing in the time of the Kurgan Stelae, and in looking not only in its format but in a natural evolution of style? and technique and stonemasonry. It seems to, there seems to be a natural progression that we're seeing. Now, let's go from Mesoamerica to North America. This was found 4 years ago in Tennessee. Same figure facing forward. We've got their arms crossed, holding it from the waist up. What is a Kurgan Stelaes doing in North America? It's being passed through the Olmec to from the Kurgan Stelaes to the Olmec. There's the stone menhir, the source, to Tennessee, to Tennessee, North America. To me, this is a really, here I fiddled with it, try to bring the image out a little bit more so you can see. But this is a Kurgan Stelaes in North America that has been indigenous native-ized. It's now they're dressing it in their garments and in their styles, but it is still the same statue. It is still the waist-up figure, face front, crisscross holding. It is a continuation of this. And so if we are not looking at a transfer of information, transoceanic, pre-Columbian era, what explains the similarity of these artifacts, of these that there's so many ways that one could depict oneself holding a staff, that to have something so like in composition, and the fact that it's waist up, that it's not the full figure, and they're holding something, and they're not to the side holding it. They're all holding it the exact same manner. It stretches the imagination more to me to believe that they all independently just created this themselves, when we're already admitting in academia that this began this. This is already accepted fact. But suddenly we find this an ocean away and we say, no, it's not the same thing. We'll say that this and this are the same thing in academia, but we won't say that this and this are the same thing, or that this and this are the same thing, or that this and this are the same thing. And if you really think about it, that they look almost close as ball. Which brings me to my next point. The only other logical explanation, if there is not a transfer of information of what's happening, is that they are all using the same source guide to create this image from. That there is something that can be seen through all of these eras, through all of these points on Earth, that they are all able to draw the same image from. If you follow my blog, you know that I believe that is a distinct possibility, and I think that it is the moon, the markings of the moon, but I will take either one. Either it is a transfer of information of transoceanic and pre-Columbian times, which some people call Atlantis. I don't call it Atlantis because Atlantis is very specific with Plato and the regions and all of that. I just like to say that there was an ocean-faring, seafaring, ocean-crossing culture before Columbus that we haven't recognized yet, and it looks like it could be the Olmec as their art matches the Kurgan Stelaes that they either have through a transfer of information or they're using the same source. Anyway, this was just for me to get my feet wet, get back and everything. It was a lot of fun. Leave a message and let me know what other videos you want me to make. I'm kind of off into a different direction in my blog. I strongly recommend you follow my blog for my latest work. I'm way further ahead than all this stuff, in my opinion, anyway. And I want to start making videos on all of that stuff. And if you follow my blog, you know what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for your support and everything. All right, guys. Thanks again. And I don't know. This was a lot of fun. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.